Hello, my name is Emmanuel Niwama, and in this part of the video, I will demonstrate how to set up your developer's environment. To start, you will need to install 4 things: Git, MongoDB Server, SourceTree, and Node.js. If you don't have a code editor, I recommend installing Visual Studio Code, which is the program I will use in this demonstration. Except for SourceTree, for each application accept the default settings. For SourceTree, accept the installation of Mercurial. While installing SourceTree for the first time, you may be asked to sign into a Bitbucket account or a Bitbucket server. We will use the server option and connect to it by using the portion of the URL that ends in 7 digits. You can see it highlighted on my screen here. For the login credentials, the username is the first part of your student email account, and the password is the same one you use for your email. To clone the source code, open Bitbucket and select the Projects tab. Now select the project and navigate to the page that displays its contents. Once we are here, we can select the Clone button and select the Clone in SourceTree option. Once SourceTree is open, we may be asked to enter our credentials a second time. Now that our credentials have been confirmed, we can open the Advanced Options menu and select the appropriate branch for us to clone. As a member of the Prof team, I will select the Prof branch, and now I'll click Clone. Once the clone is complete, the file should be stored in the directory you have chosen. You can close SourceTree and move on to the next step, which is preparing the MongoDB server. You will start by unzipping the admin backup of the database the professor has provided you with, and then create a new folder called MongoDB. The folder should appear the way I have them displayed. The next step is to open the command prompt and execute these commands. Be sure to have the correct path to where you have saved the database files before executing these commands. The first command will start the MongoDB server and populate the MongoDB folder I created with the required files. The second command will copy the admin database backup into the MongoDB folder. Now that the server is running, we can execute the second command. With the database running, we can now open Visual Studio Code and open the folder that contains our source code. Before we can view our version of the website, we must install Bower so that we can acquire all of the dependencies required by the source code. To do this, we will open a terminal in Visual Studio Code and execute these commands. The error you see here is because we are not in the correct directory. First we must go to the code directory. And now we can run Bower install without seeing an error. Once all of the dependencies have been downloaded, we must install Gulp by executing these commands. When these commands have finished executing, you can run the final command to start the localhost. I have already installed Gulp, so I will just run the command to start localhost. Make sure you are in the code directory when using this command. With localhost running, we can open a browser and view the website by going to the localhost URL. And here it is, the vertically integrated project's website running on our local host. After completing all of these steps, to access our version of the website, we only need to execute the first command that starts the database and the last command that starts the localhost to view any changes that we've made.
For Windows 7 users, you must download Windows Management Framework 5.1 to update your version of PowerShell. If you don't want to use PowerShell, you can press Ctrl-Shift-P and typing shell into the prompt and select default terminal and selecting command prompt, so you could use the default command terminal from Windows. You can then have multiple terminal windows, one for your MongoDB instance and the other for the app instance. Just in case you've never done web development before, this is a list of video series found on mva.microsoft.com. These are completely free. Each of these videos can range between 5 to 8 hours. There's 5 of them. It'll take you a good week to get through them all, but you will be much better suited to start development after watching these.